And I'm grateful to even be here. I'm grateful to be in this circle with you men. I'm grateful to be a part of Revolt. One of the biggest things, I'm just grateful that I'm still here today. In 2011, I did something with a friend of mine. We went and pretty much facilitated. We knew this kid had a bunch of marijuana on him, and I carried a gun with me everywhere I went. I was running around with the wrong crowd, and we set up a drug deal, but it was never our intent to go buy the weed. We were going to go take it. When he pulled it out, I put the pistol on him, and we started fighting around in the car. And at that point, I knew that I was going to have to shoot him in order to get these drugs off of him, to finish, because I wasn't going to be a bitch. I wasn't going to go out bad. I was there. I lived this tough lifestyle. I was going to finish what I started. So I took the gun off of safety, and the guy that was with me came around to the driver's side of the door, opened the car door up, and when he opened the car door up, it distracted the guy just long enough that I slapped him across the face with the pistol. Actually, he turned it, slapped him right across the back of his head, but the bullet grazed the back of his head, went through the A-pillar of the car, and so I hopped out. The guy that I was with panicked. The dude slumped out of the car, but I picked him up, put him on his knees, and I was like, "You're done selling drugs," and then told the guy we were with, "I might clear the weed out of the car." That had me facing 30 years in prison. By the grace of God, I don't know how I didn't end up in prison based off simple violations of the First Offender Act, because I was arrested about 6 or 8 more times while I was on probation. And one of the times that I was arrested was I got 2 DUIs 18 days apart in 2016, and driving on no license, and ended up, state of Georgia revoked 12 months of my probation, and I was sitting in the county jail, and my best friend passed away in a motorcycle wreck. I wasn't able to go to the funeral, and I remember being in the shower, and this guy Red, he was a big ghost-faced gangster guy. He was going down to prison for about 15 or 20 years for drug trafficking. And I was in the shower, and I remember crying. And he came through, and he knew what I was doing, and he smacked the curtain, and he was like, "That's long enough, dried up, you got time to do." And I did, at that point in time, I had to focus on just getting through my time so that I could come home and try and make a difference. But when I came home, all I did was get strung out on drugs. When I came out, all of my friends were doing cocaine, pills. I already had a problem with pills, and I couldn't say no to drugs or a good time. Started running around, got into a little construction, bounced around, sold cars for a long time. And one thing about selling cars is I was terrible at selling cars on cocaine, because I just wanted to go hide in a closet somewhere and be weird. But pain pills and Adderall, I could do it, man. But thankfully, got clean off of cocaine and got into roofing, but constantly struggled with alcohol. I couldn't put it down. And I would usually would drink about a pint of vodka during the day, in between my 2 to 4 double Tito's and cranberry at lunch meetings, so that when I got home, I could bring home a 12-pack of beer and a 1 liter of Tito's and a bottle of cranberry juice. My wife would have like 1 or 2 of those, and I would take the liberty of killing the rest of the 12-pack, and just enough Tito's to where I could swig it the next morning to quit the shakes. And I bought tickets to RoofCon, and really I just wanted to go sit by the pool bar and go get f***ed up. And so I did, and that night was when I probably hit my lowest rock bottom, because all of my drinking had caught up with me, and I didn't realize that all of the shakes and all the bloating and everything that I was having was because my liver and my kidneys were starting to shut down from the amount of alcohol that I was drinking. So that morning when I woke up, it was the meet and greet with Ed Milet, and I was throwing up that morning just like I had been for probably the last 12 or 14 weeks. I went from the bathroom throwing up back to the hotel bed, and I was stripped all the way down to my boxers, and I was so hot. For a while, I didn't think I would come out of that hotel room, because I was like, oh, this is a lot different than what I've been dealing with. It was about 18 hours of that. I remember I was laying in the tub with cold water running all over me, and I knew right then, I'm like, I've got to make a change. I've got to do something different. And so I go in and they run some blood work, and finally a doctor comes in. I've been there probably 10 or 12 hours, and they say, Taylor, the longer you stay away from alcohol, your liver and your kidneys are going to regenerate and you're going to be okay. But what's your game plan here, bro? Because if you continue down the path that you're going down, you don't have much longer. Your liver and kidneys are going to shut down. I'm like, this is it. I can't do it anymore, because I knew that it was going to kill me. And I knew that it was going to ruin my family. I knew it was going to bankrupt my business, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to come back from that. But the main thing I knew is that all the motherfuckers that knew I wasn't going to be shit were going to be right. I knew that everybody that watched all of my failures and knew that I was just a punk and that I was a thug, that they would be right. They'd be like, he fulfilled everything that we expected him to. He did everything that we completely expected Taylor Ammons to do, because we expected him to spend his life in and out of jail and to be nobody. But all I know is that I have my own business today, and my wife sees the work that I'm putting in. I picked up a 1-year chip January 23rd, and January 23rd of this coming year, I'm going to pick up another one. And the main reason that I stay sober now is because I know that there's somebody out there that's struggling. I know somebody's hurting. I know what it would cost for me to pick up a drink again, or to hit another line, or to eat some more pills. There's way too much on the line for me to do that again. I want to make sure that I can show people that there is ways to get out of all the shit. And I've never met anybody that got out of that rut and hole that they were in and said, man, my life was so much better off down in the gutter. There's nobody that will ever say that. Once you actually get a good mindset and you start doing stuff, I like having a little money in the bank. I like people looking at me now and having something to be inspired about, or people that are like, man, I look up to you. I would have never, I know you probably get that a lot too. And that shit just, man, it just warms your soul, because you're like, dude, I would have never thought that people would look at me and want anything that I have besides what not to do. I just wanted to just let you guys know a little bit about me and where I've been through, and why I'm so grateful to be where I am today. And it's not very often that you put yourself around a group of men that actually give a shit, because they know how much that means to me and how much it means to my company and my family. So just to have that extra support system was just awesome. So you guys have a little snapshot of that here. So if there's anything that might be weighing on you or tugging at you that you just want to get out there, or even just ask some advice on for somebody that might have been through it, this is a great time to do it, and then we'll put it in this fire and we'll burn that shit.